Welcome everybody. Here we are actually going to be watching a very cool game. It's going to be the finals of the winners bracket, the semifinals of the entire tournament. It is the eSpot Billiards and Arcades live LAN tournament hosted by Team TQ. It is bLur, the purple Terran in the top right, going up against the famous NOVAstalife, the Terran in the bottom left. It is going to be a very cool match. I am tQzander, and along with me, as always, is the amazing
tQAtticus, and just as usual, I am always glad to be here. Blur already commentating on Thor's works, right? Like Thor's are good. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
and
we'll see
yeah.
some Thors.
That'd be great. If we saw another proxy Thor rush, that would be hilarious. I'm just going to
Yeah,
throw that out there.
we always could we could transition back into time during the gentlemanly days of duels when everybody knew and announced what they were doing. In StarCraft, back in the Victorian age, you had to first announce that you wanted to play somebody with by slapping them in the face with not a glove but an SCV, and then once you actually did that, you had to announce your strategy.
That would actually be a really cool thing if both players had to tell the other person their openers before the game started.
That was the tournament I was trying to think of earlier. By the way, is the EG Masters Cup casted by Day 9, where we saw StarLife.
Oh. Okay, cool. How does Salif do in that tournament, do you know?
I know he didn't win, but he went against a very, very good player. I want to say QXC for some reason, but I don't remember.
Alright, well, I do want to say that we're seeing a more conventional TVT as the build orders are basically identical for the first couple of minutes. We do see no deviations from either player, just a little bit speedier execution from bLur, actually. Yeah. But still, it's very, very close. I'm really hoping the stream cannot hear the music from my neighbor's room right now, as the bass is
I can't
quite...
hear it.
You can hear it?
I cannot.
Okay, good. I like it because the bass is really thumping, and I like that. Um,
And I was right. My memory is usually terrible, especially with names, but it was QXC in the finals.
Very well done. Now, StarLife, I really like StarLife's building and placement for everything. You see, he always walls off with this barracks in this spot, this supply depot in this spot. He has this supply depot blocking off in case Hellions come in, and he's building the first refinery over here on the left side instead of the right side, so siege tanks cannot attack that refinery.
Hmm.
He's getting a factory right now, so we do see a 1-1-1 beginning from both players. The only difference is that bLur is getting up. Oh wait, never mind. No more difference, as bLur was getting his refinery just a little bit sooner than StarLife's.
Yep. Still relatively identical builds, almost completely identical for that matter.
Yep.
So now reactor coming down for bLur.
Yes, on top of that barracks, and bLur walls off in his TVTs, which is something that's not generally seen. Alright, and now let's just see. StarLife continuing to macro. Look at the unit counting station for a moment. StarLife 18 SCVs to 19 SCVs of bLur. bLur is a little bit better with the SCV count. StarLife does have one more Marine and one Mule for each player.
Yep.
Blur's doing a... What?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that Blur's doing a great job of scouting as I'm watching his SCV dance around.
Hmm. It's always a good idea to be proactive, especially in tournaments games like this where really big proxy attacks are prone to happen. StarLife is doing his good old standby, which is the 1-1-1.
Same exact thing happening from bLur as well. Starports are at almost identical building times right now, just 3 seconds difference.
That's actually a little bit of an odd move. StarLife lifted off of a tech lab with his factory to set it back down and make a tech lab,
Huh.
and then put his starport on the old tech lab. So
Oh.
perhaps a little bit of a miss micro or misclick.
Maybe Salih meant to get a reactor on one of those.
Hmm.
Actually, nope. It's not. It's not a misclick because he's going for a siege tank along with a banshee right now.
Hmm. And bLur looking to do some early aggression with Marines and a single Hellion.
Yeah, this is a common TVT opener. However, Starlife with this marine count and positioning should be perfectly fine to deal with this. Although, interestingly enough, I would be really curious to see if bLur is going to push up the middle with the SCVs and position his Hellions to the right, so they can actually get a flame going down 3 or 4 of those Marines at once. I doubt it's going to happen, especially because
Yeah, this could be very effective from bLur. He's going to drop in the back while pushing up with Hellions. Yep, letting go of the front, although Stalife will be able to hold this ramp with a tank. Here come the Marine drops. The
Yes.
Hellion should be moving in at any minute, although nope. He's going to have to pull back now.
Yeah, so
Good
Stalife
positioning by Stalife.
Stalife did a great job with that. So Stalife now has a tech advantage, as Stalife does have the Banshees, the starport with the tech lab on it, while bLur is just now getting out his first Banshee. But bLur is also getting Cloak.
Hmm.
bLur is also supply blocked right now, as he has a Supply Depot coming down now, but it's going to delay the Siege Tank and Banshee from him for a while.
It's going to be up to bLur to poke in and do a little bit of damage now.
Yeah, so now...
Yep, and both players sending Banshees at the other's base.
Yeah, so Stalife should get there first, as he had the first couple of Banshees. He's got two coming in, while bLur is just getting out his first Banshee at this moment.
Yep, Stalife pulling out to do some aggression, but he's going to be forced back. He has to pull back to deal with this Banshee.
Yeah, Stalife is throwing down a expansion right now. So early expo coming from Stalife. Stalife also has these two Banshees that are going to have a little bit of a rough time dealing with these Marines, as they do have a medevac to support them, and Stalife is taking a lot of hits on that one Banshee over there.
Yeah, Stalife, don't lose your tank in your main.
Oh, he's
Huge
going
battle
to.
going down at bLur's main.
Yeah, so
Stalife gets up the ramp.
that is key. The siege tanks do not have siege mode, but they are doing a lot of damage. SCV is being pulled by bLur, but bLur is going to hold. However, Stalife is going to be able to take down some of these guys. Marines are down there, and Stalife just two more hits on this Banshee with 8 health, and that thing's going to go down. But a lot of damage has been done by these guys. 10 kills between those two Banshees, and bLur is just going to pull back and stay contained.
Yeah, bLur did a little bit more damage with a Banshee, killing all the SCVs on gas, but was forced back by a scan and a Viking.
Yep, so now Stalife does need to replenish those guys in that gas, because right now he's got too many in one refinery and not enough in the other one. Alright, Command Center is done at Stalife's Natural, so he's going to be able to transfer some SCVs down there, and he should be okay. He does fix the SCV count in that left refinery, but still has one extra one in the refinery to the right. No Command Center coming out for bLur quite yet. Looks like he's going to try and do a push.
Yeah, as a result of the damage from that first Banshee in Stalife base, he's not able to really utilize that expansion for a little bit, holding him back just a little, but that could prove fatal as bLur is now pushing out again.
Yep, and now Stalife about to have a Raven out as well, so the Cloaked Banshees are going to become irrelevant as long as Stalife has his Ravens with his army.
Yeah, this is not going to look good for Stalife, as he is far behind in the unit count.
Yeah, so now let's watch see how this is going to go. Stalife is about to take a lot of damage from this push. A Viking is out as well. That's going to be very hard to deal with in terms of keeping Stalife's Raven alive, and this Command Center is taking a lot of damage. Oh, Stalife! Ooh, Stalife loses a Viking. That is
sieging up
bad.
now, but these Banshees are probably going to take out this tank.
Yes,
they
that
do.
tank does go down. Stalife is taking so many hits. His expansion is just failing utterly.
Yep, and Stalife is... Yeah, I really don't think there's any way he's going to hold this. And as bLur pushes up into his main, this is going to be game.
Yeah, this is going to be a very hard deal with. And the siege tank siege up. SCV's being pulled by Stalife, but they're going to evaporate so quickly. Stalife has these Banshees, but they're going down. They don't have Cloak. And now bLur just has free DPS that he can do to everything over here. Yeah, and Stalife's trying to target this siege tank over here, but it's getting repaired, and there's GG from Stalife.